Hello and welcome to the Race Department Rally Championship and Round 1, the Rally of Norway. Today we'll take a look at the Group N and the two-wheel drive classes. We start off with Carl Raudseb, who left no feedback on how his rally went. Carl retired on the final stage of day 1 and crashed out of the rally for good on SS11. This puts Carl 39th overall and 3rd in the all-new two-wheel drive class. Ross McGregor had a promising start, posting top 5 times on the opening loop. Then disaster struck and Ross retired on SS4. The damage to the car was so big that he had to skip SS5 with repairs as well, and then rejoined on SS6. The bad luck continued on SS6, however, where he retired coming towards the final kilometer or so of the stage. Day 2 was a lot better and Ross was fastest on SS9 and second fastest on SS7 on SS11. On SS12 he punctured the radiator on the Subaru and said he had to take it easy on the final loop. Although with the second fastest time on SS13 and fastest on SS14, I have some doubts on how easy he really took it. In the end, Ross was annoyed that he had 3 stages with default time, but with a handful of top 5 times and even 2 stage wins marks a good debut to the championship. Tyrone Frith has swapped from an S2000 Skoda to a Group N Subaru for this season of the RDRC. Tyrone has struggled a bit with the snow rallies earlier, and the luck was not about to change in Norway either. He opened with good times on the first 2 stages of the rally, but then had to retire in the next 3 after hitting some posts hidden in the snowbanks. He was not fast enough to challenge the leaders in the rally, but he produced stage times on a stable level and climbs up to 11th in class by the end of the event. Tyrone was not as happy with his result as his pace in Norway, and hoped for better luck next time around. Roy Magnes is also making his RDRC debut here in Norway in the Subaru. He had an okay opening of the rally, but the engine died when he hit a tree on SS4, and he also had to retire on SS7 and SS10. He had to call for help from the spectators on SS3, but other than that he had only minor mistakes in the rally. He posted top 5 times on SS2, SS5 and SS8 and felt that he had the pace for a top 5 in the class without the retirements. This was not to be, however, but the 10th secures a championship point in the debut. Daniel Monteiro had a nervous start due to the fog on the opening stages, and in the first corner of SS2 he left the road and damaged the gearbox and the bonnet on his Mitsubishi. This meant that the bonnet would not stay down while driving, and as you can hear, he struggled a lot to get the car through the stages with a damaged gearbox. On SS7 Daniel had an incident with some spectators when he misheard the pace note and dropped some 40 seconds. He had a retirement on SS12, but other than that it was only small mistakes. Daniel finished 9th in the production class this time and was very happy with that. Rick Bamford has changed from WRC Focus to a Group H Escort Mark II for this season. Rick had not fully gotten over a pneumonia, so he opted for a steady drive rather than attacking on this rally. He had a reasonable start to the event, but on SS5 he had to get help from the spectators when he got stuck in a ditch. Rick spun 3 meters into the second day of the rally, and this would turn out to be an omen of what was to come. On SS9 he rolled in a hairpin and had to call for help to get going again. On SS10, SS11 and SS13 he had to get help from spectators after offs and rolls, and this means he lost a huge amount of time on day 2. Still, he enjoyed himself and got a second position in the season opener. Javier de Diego was one of the big group of drivers that made a championship debut here today. Javier said that he felt good in the car and he delivered top times on the 5 first stages. On SS6 he found a 3 though and had to retire. He started day 2 with a good run and was setting top times all through the day. That is, until the final stage of the rally, where he found another 3 and had to retire from the second stage of the event. Despite this, Javier finished 8th and well within the points. Joachim Skalstad had an eventful rally in his banana phone Subaru. He said at the start that he would go at 75% speed just to get through his debut event. On SS5 he discovered a tree on his route, but it didn't move, and the result was a retirement with a dead engine. He could restart on the next stage, and he wanted to overtake Magnus Lindgren in the Lancia, who he was quite close behind. Joachim was fast throughout the final day and ended up 5th in class, 2 minutes ahead of Lindgren in the end. Continuing with the Norwegians and Ole Marius Myhrvold, who has parked the C at WRC for a Renault Alpine in the 2-wheel drive class. On the first day he pushed hard and quickly opened the gap to Raudsep, who was second fastest until he retired on SS6. Day 2 continued in the same fashion, and in the end Ole Marius won 9 of the 14 stages here in Norway. The biggest struggle with his car was the hairpins, with a low traction on the front wheels and no handbrake, making it a 3-point turn at the minimum. Ole Marius is very pleased with his rally, and he wins the 2-wheel drive class with a margin over 9 minutes here in his home event. Paul Newton in the older Subaru had a good rally. He produced stable stage times within the top 5, and as he did not retire on any of the stages, he finished 4th in the rally. Paul reported that the engine kept overheating toward the end of the rally, but that he had not done anything to cause it. The engine held on though, and Paul could bank some good points for Norway. David Junt has moved up to the Group N class and is driving a Mitsubishi this season. He started sensibly but had an off-road excursion on SS3 that did cost him some 20 seconds. On the second time through the stage, David also had an off and had to get help to get back on the road, and he lost over a minute to the winner of the stage. The second day was to be better for the Swiss driver though, as he won SS10 and SS13 in addition to a string of top 5 times. Overall, David was very pleased with this event and was rewarded with 3rd position in the production class here in Norway. Martin Mattis was even making his RDRC debut in the wind conditions in Norway, and what a debut it was. He claimed ahead of the rally that he did not like to drive on the snow, and just wanted to finish the rally. Martin only won SS5, but he produced stable times within the top 3 on most of the stages, and that paid off in the end. On the first day he was having a fight with Javier de Diego until de Diego retired on SS6. Martin even rolled on SS13, but lost not more than 10 seconds in the incident and could finish in a safe 2nd position. A minute ahead of Mattis we find Norbert Serban in the Subaru. Norbert was in very good form this rally, and he won 8 of the stages along his way to the victory. The win was not without the dramas, however, as he rolled his car on both SS12 and SS13, and he still won the SS12 despite that roll. Norbert was very pleased with the season opening, and it could hardly have gone any better with a 13th position overall alongside the class victory. Here we have the results white on black for you. First, the two-wheel drive class with Ole Marius Myhrvold taking a commanding victory over Rick Bamford and Carl Raudsep. And then a look at the production class with Norbert Serban ahead of Martin Mattis, David Junt, Paul Newton, Joachim Skalstad, Tasho Hall, Magnus Lindgren, Javier de Diego, Daniel Monteiro and Roy Schroten. And that was all we have here from the Rally of Norway. Check back for the next round of the RDRC here at racedepartment.com.